Ever wondered why Lake Louise is so blue that it almost seems surreal? This gem of nature, nestled in the heart of Banff National Park in Alberta, Canada, holds a captivating allure that has charmed the hearts of many. The stunning blue color of its waters, vivid against the backdrop of rugged mountains and lush forests, is nothing short of a spectacle. Lake Louise, named after the fourth daughter of Queen Victoria, Princess Louise Caroline Alberta, is a sight to behold. But what makes this lake so extraordinary is its mesmerizing hue, a striking blue that seems to belong more in a painting than in reality. It's a color that has inspired countless photographs, paintings, and poems, and has become the symbol of the lake's breathtaking beauty. Now, many of you might have heard various theories about the origin of this blue color. Some say it's a reflection of the sky, a mirror image of the azure above. Others believe it's due to the depth of the lake, with the dark depths absorbing all other colors and leaving only blue. And then there is the tale that the lake is a tear of a goddess, her sorrow spilling over into the world and giving the lake its enchanting hue. These are all fascinating stories, filled with romance and mystery, but are they true? If you're a skeptic, you might be wondering if there's a more scientific explanation. After all, nature often has its secrets, and understanding them only adds to their allure. Here's the thing about Lake Louise's blue color. It's not a constant. It changes, shifts, transforms throughout the year, offering a dynamic spectacle for those lucky enough to witness it. And this ever-changing color has more to do with nature's processes than any myth or folklore. But what if I told you that the color has nothing to do with its depth or the reflection of the sky? Yes, you heard it right. The captivating blue beauty of Lake Louise is not a mere reflection, nor is it a result of its depth. So, what gives Lake Louise its incredible hue? Stay tuned as we delve into the science behind the blue. The truth behind Lake Louise's blue color lies in the realm of science, more specifically in the particles in the water. Now let's dive into the science behind the blue. Picture this. A glacier grinds against the mountainside like a giant ice grater, shaving off tiny fragments of rock. This process creates a fine powder known as rock flour, or glacial silt. The rock flour is so fine that it becomes suspended in the meltwater that flows into Lake Louise. These particles are so small that they don't just sink to the bottom. Instead, they hang in the water like tiny, invisible specks. Here's where the magic happens. When sunlight hits the lake, it doesn't just shine straight through the water. No, it interacts with these tiny particles of rock flour. The light is absorbed and scattered in every direction. But not all colors in the light spectrum scatter the same way. The short wavelengths of light, such as blue and green, are scattered more than other colors like red or yellow. Think about it like this. Imagine you're at a party, and the room is full of people dancing to the music. The fast, energetic dancers who are bouncing all over the place, they're like the blue and green light. They're scattered all around the room. The slower, more relaxed dancers who are just swaying in one spot, they're like the red and yellow light. They don't get scattered as much. So what you end up seeing is predominantly blue and green light reflected back to your eyes. This scattered blue and green light gives Lake Louise its distinctive, captivating color. It's a fascinating dance of nature, a delicate interplay between the Earth's raw power and the subtle physics of light. It's a performance that has been choreographed over thousands of years, resulting in the breathtaking spectacle that is Lake Louise. So the next time you gaze upon Lake Louise, remember that you're actually looking at the sun's reflection off tiny particles of rock. But where does this rock flour come from? The answer is from the glaciers surrounding the lake. Let's take a moment to appreciate these icy giants, the glaciers, these massive, slow-moving rivers of ice. They are not just spectacular to look at, but they play a crucial role in the story of Lake Louise's captivating blue color. Now imagine this. The glaciers are constantly moving, albeit at a glacial pace, pun intended. As they slide down the mountain slopes, they carry with them the rocks and stones caught in their path. This movement isn't smooth sailing though. There's a lot of grinding and crushing involved, kind of like nature's very own rock mill. This relentless grinding of rocks by the glaciers results in the creation of something we call rock flour. As the name suggests, it's a very fine powder, almost as fine as the flour you'd use to bake a cake. But what happens to this rock flour? Well, it doesn't stay up in the mountains. The meltwater from the glaciers transports this rock flour, flowing down into the valleys and eventually reaching Lake Louise. Once in the lake, the rock flour doesn't just sink to the bottom. Instead, it stays suspended in the water column, scattering the sunlight that penetrates the lake's surface. This scattering of light, particularly the blue and green wavelengths, gives Lake Louise its iconic turquoise hue. So, you see, the glaciers are not just a pretty backdrop for Lake Louise. They are the silent artists, the unseen sculptors, that contribute to the lake's astounding beauty. They grind, they transport, and they ultimately paint the lake with its unique color palette. Without these glaciers, Lake Louise would not be the stunning blue we know and love. The glaciers and their ceaseless work of artistry add depth to the story of Lake Louise, making it not just a sight for sore eyes but a marvel of nature's science. Without these glaciers, Lake Louise would not be the stunning blue we know and love. Did you know that the color of Lake Louise actually changes throughout the year? That's right, our vibrant azure spectacle doesn't stay the same shade 12 months round. This seasonal color dance is a result of an intriguing interplay between nature's elements. The reason behind this chameleon-like behavior lies in something called rock flour. Now, you might be thinking, what does baking have to do with the color of a lake? Well, it's not that kind of flour. Rock flour is a fine sediment created by the grinding action of glaciers on rocks, and it's this rock flour that's responsible for the mesmerizing hue of Lake Louise. As the glaciers move, they grind against the rock beneath them, creating this flour. This powdery substance then gets carried by meltwater into the lake, where it becomes suspended in the water and refracts sunlight. The more rock flour in the water, the more intense the blue color. Now here's where the seasons come into play. As you might imagine, glaciers do most of their moving in the warmer months. During this time, the amount of rock flour entering the lake increases, intensifying the lake's blue color. Hence, Lake Louise tends to be at its bluest during the summer. Conversely, in the colder months, the glaciers slow down their grinding dance. Less rock flour is produced and therefore less enters the lake. The result is a softer, more subdued shade of blue. Winter sees Lake Louise dressed in a serene, icy blue gown. So every season brings a new shade to Lake Louise, each one as breathtaking as the last. It's a testament to the dynamic nature of our planet, of how even the seemingly static landscapes are in a constant state of change and evolution. So, Lake Louise is a dynamic beauty, changing its shade of blue with the seasons. From a vibrant summer azure to a tranquil winter ice blue, the lake embraces each season with a new color, ever enchanting and ever changing. So why is Lake Louise so blue? This question has been the central focus of our exploration, and we've delved into the science behind this captivating phenomenon. We've learned that the striking azure color of Lake Louise isn't just a trick of the light or a result of digital photo enhancement, it's a natural wonder, a result of a perfect blend of geological, climatic, and environmental factors. We started by understanding the concept of rock flour, a fine sediment that is continuously produced by the grinding of bedrock by glacier movements. This rock flour, composed of minute particles, is carried into Lake Louise by meltwater from glaciers. As the sunlight hits the lake, these particles reflect the blue and green wavelengths, giving the lake its iconic blue hue. We then ventured into the role of glaciers in this process. The Victoria Glacier, majestically overlooking Lake Louise, plays a crucial part. As it slowly moves over the bedrock, it grinds it down into the rock flour that is so vital for the lake's color. It's a slow and steady process, a testament to nature's unhurried pace in creating beauty. And of course, we touched on the seasonal changes that Lake Louise undergoes. During the summer months, the increased glacier melt due to warmer temperatures means more rock flour is carried into the lake, intensifying its blue color. Come winter, the lake freezes over, and the rock flour settles, leading to a different but equally mesmerizing icy beauty. In essence, the blue of Lake Louise is a story of nature's artistry, a tale of glaciers and sunlight, of rock and water, and of change and constancy. It's a story that continues to unfold, shaped by the slow grind of glaciers and the seasonal rhythms of the Canadian Rockies. So there you have it, a brief journey into the science behind the captivating blue of Lake Louise. Remember, there's always more to beauty than meets the eye.